Y is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Any food at any buffet, at any hotel, anywhere in the world is going to be B minus on a good day. On the best
Correct.
day,
Correct.
I don't care if it's got goat cheese. I don't care if it's got craisins and the little sesame strips that are like you throw those in for some crisp.
Yes.
Take down the arches with all this
And
nonsense.
you can't keep it clean. Like you can't keep it separated. Like the
No,
offspring.
no. I was going to say noodles and the rest of the offspring were woefully unprepared for hotel
I know.
buffet dinners.
Right? That's why I can tolerate the stations, but people they've realized that the stations is not really that easy to pull off anymore.
Because you need a separate server at each station to be like,
Yeah.
get your hand out of the dressing.
Right. And they're hard. Yeah, it's not so easy and it's quite pricey.
And with
I
all of the
actually don't like
dressings.
food en masse, if I'm honest. Like, it's very rare that food is good at any massive.
Well, when we were looking at wedding food, it was very much they were like, okay, we have these things on the menu. You can pick any of these. You don't
Hmm.
want these because they do not serve well. They do not,
Hmm.
like, you can't serve dinner to 150, 200, 350 people all at the same time and have it be
Right.
good. Like, that
No,
is
you
just
can't. It's
physically
impossible.
impossible.
Hmm.
And they're like, you want some sort of red meat
Hmm.
because it will continue to cook. You can throw it under a lamp and you'll be fine. It's not
Right.
going to be the greatest thing you've ever had, but
People like it. They
yeah, but
expect
like
it.
chicken is never going to serve well for
Nope.
that many people.
Nope.
It's going to be dry because it's like the thing when you go to the restaurants and say, "How do you want this?" and you say medium rare.
Well, no, you know,
No, you do because Anthony Bourdain said if you like it more than a medium rare, you don't like meat.
I don't like meat, but I have to eat meat.
But they say, "How do you want it?" and you say medium rare, and then the server immediately goes, "Is we don't cook anything under medium." Like, well, then you should not have asked me, frankly.
Well, I know, but really they do. They actually do cook it medium rare, but it's been sitting for a long time and it cooks itself to medium, and that's the whole thing. But depending when you get your plate, it might actually still be rare. So
It might be well done, for God's sake.
the key is
If
that
you
we
got the
have to
kids' table
sit
in the corner,
right, is we have to sit at opposite tables at any event we go to
mhm.
because you need the one that I always get, which is always the crappy one that's still walking,
No, no,
and
I don't want a
you
blue. Let's just be
and
honest
you
here.
need the one that, or I need the one that you get, which is the one that is like burnt to a crisp.
Right.
Like I
I
always want
just,
to be the one if I have to go to a carving station, heaven
mhm.
forbid. I need to be the first one in line because not because I want the perfect like juicy tender piece of meat. I want that end piece that they throw away.
I thought you were going to say that the people in the really tall hats does it for you.
Well, I do want them to do it for me. And I want all the horseradish, all of it,
Oh, gee,
all of it. So I don't have to taste anything but horseradish.
I any of those like if they could maybe pretend like they have a mouse under their hat that's pulling on their hair to get them to
Mhm.
carve stuff. That's the kind of chef I'm looking for at one of these stations.
Well, yeah, because then they know what they're doing.
Right. Oh, exactly. They seasoned it perfectly.
Right.
I just yeah. Yeah, you have to go red meat, but it's always disgusting. Like they can't buy a good cut of because it's again, a serving size issue.
If I ever get married, which we knows the likelihood is,
Right.
you know,
Fading by the day.
right. Well, I don't know that it's I don't know that it's fading by the
Okay.
day. I just know that we all know that the odds have never really been,
Right.
you know,
But
I'm
even
only
if you
gonna
did
serve desserts.
no, that's you gotta.
It's gonna be only tiramisu,
In
maybe
a
some cheese.
wheelbarrow.
You know,
Right.
wheelbarrows for every table.
Oh
But no,
my
everyone
God.
should get their own little mini wheelbarrows. 'Cause I don't want people to have to like be eating from a trough.
That's true. Yeah, they're not pigs.
Or everyone could have their own like dessert tables. Or I mean, you could have cheesecakes
I was gonna say,
or
give me a
because cheesecake
wheelbarrow
is
of
my favorite.
cheesecake.
Well,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, a wheelbarrow of cheesecake I would love. That's my
I'm
favorite.
currently having a love affair with the key lime cheesecake.
But that see, key lime's its own thing. I
Oh,
like
it
key lime
is.
pie,
Right, no, no, no. As a cheesecake, I grant you, it's not like your traditional.
like from a place, or did you
I,
make
d-
it, or
no,
just
just anywhere usually.
really?
Yeah,
I'm kind
and
of
I'm. Have we talked about the fact that the Cheesecake Factory? I, I know we've talked about the fact that factory in your restaurant title is a terrible idea,
a awful.
but that their cheesecake selection is surprisingly disappointing and
Oh,
minimal.
completely. Because they're just like variations on a theme.
Right.
Hmm.
And you can get out of here with this raspberry swirl you've got going on the top. Yeah,
No,
come on.
right.
Just, I mean, you can't go wrong with the traditional cheesecake,
Agreed.
and you can ask friend of the show, Tawny Katane, about that
Yes, it's a traditional cheesecake or in like
on
a
a private plane with your lover
yes.
and your children's lovers and your
And your
ex-husband's
and
lovers.
your lover's lovers and your bestie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great trip.
I mean, I believe Tony said that even the plane had a lover on the one
I
she was
know.
on.
To Toddy.
Oh
May
my
she
God.
rest.
Yeah. You know, got a bum rap.
I know.
You sat down and talked to her, and you're like, she gets it.
I mean, that she really did. And I really do believe we would have had cheesecake and sat by her pool and had a really good time.
And I bet by the end of it, we all would have been singing Here I Go Again, unironically, just belting it out and
I
having a
mean,
great time.
we really would have. I mean, we
You probably couldn't bring
probably,
up DC, obviously.
obviously. But you know what? Did we really want to? Not really.
No.
Just wanted to hang out and talk
Yeah.
about cheesecake and lovers and
Private plans with your children and their lovers.
having a great time, having some cocktails by the pool. I mean, that is a good day.
Yeah, it's a great day.
This is Why, with your hosts, Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poling.
To talk about this calendar, it's such a neat idea. Um, Obviously, you're not the first ones to do it, but the reasons behind it are so interesting. Can you explain exactly what the purpose of doing a nude calendar was?
The purpose for doing a nude calendar, actually, our Facebook page says Outback Naked, no nudity. And if you've seen the Calendar Girls movie from 1993, there's a lot of discussion, well, about the project, their project in the 1990s. The movie is 2003, I think. They talk a lot about the distinction between nudity and naked. And I never quite understood it. And I don't think anybody else did. And that was
No, right. That's the whole point. Just made him feel better and it worked.
yeah. So I knew that this existed, this opportunity existed, and I'd been thinking about doing it in our town just for fun. And then I learned that the town the financial circumstances had become so bad that the state of Oregon was ready to put the town into receivership if we didn't turn things around. And so snow plowing, sometimes we've got 6 feet of snow on the ground, and sometimes we have just a little skiff that you don't even need to sweep. So there's no way to know, but snow plowing is a major concern in town when we do have snow. And there was no money. They wanted to add money to everybody's water bill for plowing. And I said, well, why don't we just see if we could raise some money for plowing?
Yeah.
And so you happened upon this idea. It's something you said you'd thought of.
Yes.
You,
I lived in Vermont for many years, and the town next to me in Vermont was called Maple Corner. And in 2002 and 2003, they put out a Men of Maple Corner calendar, much more revealing than our calendar,
all right.
and sold 56,000 calendars and raised enough money to renovate their community center and whatever that's called, where you put money in perpetuity for workshops and repairs.
So
And
they did all right. And Heidi, stay off eBay until after we're done talking.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm not. I am a big fan of naked calendars
And
for a
Maple
good
Corners,
cause.
one of your
And Maple
favorites.
Corners,
Yeah.
Maple Corner.
yes.
Oh, Maple Corner. Yeah, Maple Corner, Vermont. It's wonderful. It's a very beautiful. If you get a chance, it's
What part
the
of the
road
state?
stopped there. I mean, the pavement stopped at Maple Corner, and
Where is it in the state?
it's central Vermont, north of Montpelier.
Okay,
Okay.
very nice. And it's lovely up there.
Yeah,
Year
yeah.
round, I would argue. But
Well, perhaps you've never been there in mud season.
I've been in New Hampshire during mud season, so I know, not the same. I
But
know.
close.
Close.
It's close.
I'm not trying to compare. So, how did you go about getting the other 11 months? And what did they make of it when you said, here's an idea?
Well, I started with the town council. I went to the town council meeting and said, I have this idea. I was not exactly asking for permission
Well played.
unless they
Yep.
wanted to do it.
Right.
But I just, as a courtesy, and I also told the county commissioners that I was thinking about this project. And one of the, most of the town council was like, yeah, I don't think so. And one town council member said, I think that's a fabulous idea. And so she
I
joined
like
me.
that council member. I would vote for them.
She is fabulous. Her name is Jess Calvin, and she's a council member, and she owns a bakery and cafe in town. And she's
Yes.
part of almost everything that's going on. One of those people the town wouldn't go very far without her. Anyway, she's very positive and very smart, and she researches the laws. She got the town to finally agree to charge a marijuana tax, which means public safety is taken care of.
Right.
We have our tiny little town of 2,000, less than 2,500 people, has 2 marijuana shops that gross about $2 million. So
Amazing.
why not?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, and she's looking at other things that the town could do, which they're slow to, they got to think it all over. Anyway,
You're turning a ship. I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Turning a ship. That's a really nice, I like that analogy. This is not one of those cigarette boats. This is
Yes, exactly.
a whole town.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway,
Titanic for better
But
or
no,
worse.
no.
No.
What are you doing?
That's
It's
right.
like this is the QE2.
Yeah,
or,
QE2, there you go.
It's a lovely luxury liner that does very well.
Yeah. So Jessica joined with me, and we agreed to start it. And I jumped in the horse trough right away. And my friend Pat's house, and her daughter took the picture. I'm on the cover. I don't know if you have a calendar. But
We don't have a calendar, but we've
We
seen
don't.
the pictures online.
Yes.
We don't have a calendar
Oh,
yet.
oh, that's
Not
right,
yet.
that's
Not yet.
Anyway, it's my friend Pat didn't really want to do it, but she's another really strong supporter of the town and of projects that support people. Anyway, so she is the librarian behind all the books in Miss April.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
that. I've seen that one.
And she was kind of hoping she could get out of being in it, and at the last minute the cover fell off. I mean, we wanted to have a graphic designer take the clothes off the iconic tall town Lakeview man, the cowboy who always used to greet people with his gun at the
Love it.
and some number of years ago, actually before I moved to town, I've only been there 20 years, the town decided to have a kindler, gentler cowboy welcome. But the fairground still has the tall town cowboy, and we thought it'd be fun to take his clothes off. He could wear his holster and his boots and his hat.
Spurs, sure.
But
Yes.
we couldn't, but we couldn't get that organized. So I became the cover, and people just began to, and I had this idea. It was pretty vague about what it would look like. And then people started, a guy was in Alaska fishing, heard about the project, sent in the picture of him wearing the belt of salmon and nothing else.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
when he sent that in, and a couple of days later, somebody else who is now 86 and has moved to Texas, but lived for many, many, many years in Lakeview, read about it in the paper, which he still subscribes to, and sent in a picture of himself in 1974 if you look closely at that picture, it's Mr. January is actually July 4, 1974, when he hiked. That was a year we had snow, and he hiked up the mountain south of town with
Amazing.
his skis and streaked down wearing his, you know, ski patrol fanny pack, and that's it.
I love it.
And so when that happened, I was like, okay, I'm going to take what I get, you know. And
Yes.
Yeah.
now the next calendar, next year, we are looking at doing a calendar for next year called Outback Naked Classic Cars 2027.
Oh,
And Mr. August has already signed up, and there's a group of women in Lakeview who have known each other for at least 75 years or 80
Wow.
years, and they want to get in the convertible of one of them, wearing their minks that they never get to wear because there's nowhere to go, wearing their minks and big hats. So they're 80 and 90-year-old women have all indicated an interest. So what we're hoping to do is have people wear their modesty shields appropriate to the vintage of the car. So maybe a 1960s car, you might have a couple of pillbox hats
love
on your
it.
head and a couple, you know.
I love it. This is so
Anyway,
great.
so I think next year we will have, and I'm going to encourage people next year to use the photographers, you know, and we want to be able to be sure that each photograph covers the whole page. But this year it was so wonderful to have those brave people be willing, in the middle of an extremely conservative area, be willing to support their town like that was
Yes.
so we just took it and went with it, and
Oh,
and
yeah.
are so grateful. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Was there jostling for particular months?
Oh yes, people were very definite about, you know, Miss February was instrumental in getting our local theater renovated. You know, the movie industry changed the kinds of cameras you had to have, which is one of the reasons
Yep.
little towns no longer have theaters. But we
Right.
Mhm.
ours has been renovated. It still only shows one or two movies, maybe one a week.
So what?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so we have, and that's her mother's Mardi Gras mask. So she wanted February,
Of course.
and the owner of the radio station, her birthday is in May, and a lot of other good things happen in May. So she's Miss May. You know, the salmon guy wanted August because it was August when he heard about it. You know, so it's yeah.
But this becomes an additional fundraising opportunity, obviously, for
point.
future years. You know, you get to like
Right.
have a little bidding war for the months, you know?
So
So-
I think next one we'll have more people because people have seen it and they recognize the benefit of it, and that it's not a bad thing. It's not, you know, against their religion. There was a very beautiful article that was posted on Facebook by a woman who's in her 80s, sixth generation in the valley. Her family was, you know, among the early pioneers and still have a, you know, big ranch. And she did not think it was a good idea at all. She's a good friend of mine, but she thought I was nuts, which probably isn't the first time. Anyway, and she changed her mind. I can send, actually, you know, I think it's posted. If you go on our Facebook page, the Outback Naked No Nudity, it's in that email stream somewhere.
We'll find
But
it.
I can send you a link to it. You
That'd
know,
be
it's just
awesome.
very sweet about how her mind changed
Yeah, that's the
relation
best.
to it. So and I've had very, very, very little, you know, pushback. One guy posted on the Facebook page, you know, that were a bunch of sick expletives for wanting to look at, you know, withered weenies, and
Oh, geez.
but that's very uncommon. And you know, one person was disappointed that the calendar wasn't more professional looking, or you know, but really
Yeah.
it was so positive. People just have been really reaching out, and it's fun.
That's so fun.
And I don't know if you have counted everything, if you, you know, the year is young, so you can still get a calendar for 2026 and use
Yes.
it.
Absolutely.
But how is it looking fiscally? Is it doing the things you wanted it to do? I mean, because
It is definitely
You
doing.
look online
I
and
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
Oh,
go ahead.
I just talked with Jess. I'm in Cambodia visiting family, and she's kind of handling things on the ground in Lakeview and doing all the shipping and banking. And she says we have about $37,000 in our bank account today. 1,200 of that is for shipping expenses that we need to reimburse.
Hmm.
So, but we've made more than we've grossed more than 30,000 at this point. We do have another order of calendars that we should receive next week, so people can continue to purchase them. There's still we don't give a discount, unfortunately. It's not prorated if you get it at
no.
the end of January, but yeah. So it's been very good. We've sold pretty close to 2,000 calendars,
That's
and
wonderful.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, it's been amazing. And it's been fun.
Yeah,
It's
and
awesome.
you have been all over the world. I mean, CNN doesn't begin. I mean, there's pictures in Japan, and were you expecting this sort of
Well,
reach? I grant
um,
you're in Singapore. I get that
yeah.
you got
I'm
that
in
continent
Cambodia,
covered. Oh,
She's in
sorry,
so I do
Cambodia.
Cambodia.
have yeah. I do have friends from all over the world that live here. My grandson goes to a school where there are 48 nations represented between the
Awesome.
students and the staff, and it's a small school, maybe a couple of hundred kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
so
love it.
we know lots of different people, and one guy bought a bunch of calendars to take back to Japan when he was going back, and so he took pictures and submitted them, and yeah.
But still, I
Yeah,
mean, that's
and we
amazing.
sent a calendar to Germany that went with somebody a German who worked here was going home for Christmas, took the calendar and mailed it.
It's great.
But
I love
basically,
it.
yeah, I mean, shipping overseas is prohibitive. Although
Yeah.
Right.
we got another calendar yesterday. And if anybody's listening to this and you didn't get your calendar, please get in touch with us. We have people that I've been trying to reach that, they ordered it, they paid, they didn't give an address.
Oh
Mm.
no.
So, anyway.
And
And
I'd
and
love
some
to.
people have spam blocking. They've inquired. I write back. They have a spam blocker.
Yes.
They want me to sign up for some special. I'm sorry, you're the one who wants that service. If you want your calendar, look in your spam folder and even if I've been back and forth with you, my response goes into your spam again. So
Right.
those choices. Reach out again and maybe unblock spam for 24 hours. So
Right.
Yeah.
communicate otherwise. But seriously, if you haven't gotten your calendar, I mean, we just got back today a calendar that was mailed, an order from December 13th
Oh my gosh. I
Sounds
know.
about
It's so
right.
crazy.
in Oregon.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah,
And
that
it was
sounds
just
right.
returned today,
Oh,
a
yeah.
month and 7 days after the order was placed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah. So anyway, most calendars got where they were going, but there's some calendars that are out there. Who knows where?
Yep. It's crazy.
So this whole process of doing all of this, I don't want to get into your personal life, but having done this, what is that like? Is it terrifying? Is it enjoyable? The whole process of posing and all of it.
Oh, well, the posing, I think for many people, I told people they did have to take their clothes off because their faces would be different if they were naked and they knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if we couldn't see the parts they really didn't want us to see,
Right.
and we did you'll see Miss November is blurred because the picture she submitted was so clear. You can
Oops.
see every pebble in the hot spring, and that's not something. It's a beautiful photograph, but it's not something that our demographic would really support.
Yeah, they were ready
So,
for that.
yeah. But anyway, so we
Yeah.
did do some changes. Oops. Sorry, my alarm is going off.
Oh, no problem.
I don't even know why an alarm at 8:15 on Friday.
Hey.
So the whole process for you has been enjoyable and fun and
It had, well, most of it. I mean, some of it when I was working, 3 and 4 hours a day fielding emails, and Jess was working, it would take her 8 hours to process orders, and
Yeah.
she's figured out it was harder. We tried to use the USPS click and ship, which
Hmm.
prints labels, but their process was so clunky. It was a lot faster to just write out the addresses by hand.
Yeah.
wow.
So we put in, so sometimes it just got a little overmuch with how much time was involved. But basically, it was good. And I personally, I was okay, being in the horse trough. But
Yeah.
people have different levels of what they're comfortable with.
And
Was
it'll
the
get
water
easier
cold?
every year.
Yeah. Do you have a month planned for the next year?
Well, I don't have a classic car. We have had some people who volunteered to model if the owner of the car doesn't want, like you might have the owner of the car standing clothed and then the
Right.
model not,
Hmm.
if that works. We have a lot of people with classic cars in our neighborhood. So
That's awesome.
That's
yeah,
the nice problem to have, that it's not the inverse.
Right.
right,
Right.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
so we'll see. Yeah, but it's been good. I haven't my personal writing has suffered as a result because there's been so much going on that I just can't settle down and focus. But now the calendar's settled down a little bit, so I'm back to writing, which is nice.
Is this going to fall into some of your writing or your alter or your friends' writing?
Yeah, no, no,
The
no.
shadow.
The shadow. Well, in a way, the next book is called Witch, and it
Oh.
takes place in 14th century Bavaria.
Oh,
So yeah, it'll be
I
where
like
they
it
were.
already.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
That's
Were you at
awesome.
A
all
lot of
worried doing? Sorry,
what?
were you at all worried doing this calendar? I mean, you don't see Stephen King doing this kind of thing.
Oh, well, worried
Not
about
yet.
what?
Oh, just that
That's
your
right, not yet.
readers would be
Oh no, no, I
scandalized.
don't. I don't have that many readers, and I think readers who are attracted to my books might be more appreciative. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I've written 3 books. The first
Hmm.
one was The Storekeeper: A Tale of Small Town Life. And it's about a guy whose wife dies, and he puts the dog in the truck, and they drive around the United States and end up in a little town in the Intermountain West, and he buys the mom and pop store. So it's his healing process entering into a community, and it's just a sweet story.
I
So
mean,
those readers might be a little more skeptical. The next one takes place in 12th century Cambodia. So I write novels.
well, I was going to say, let's not sell yourself short here. I mean, yes, you are a writer. Yes, maybe you have not hit number one on the bestseller lists, but Kirkus and, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
you don't want to
yeah,
turn your nose up at them.
Right.
They said you're
sure.
pretty darn good at this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know. It was, yeah, that was quite an honor to get that, recommendation, 100
Yeah.
best one best 100 independent books of 2023.
Yeah.
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 So the process, have you always been writing? How did you get started in this? Because is this a second career, or is this something you've always done?
Well, I've always journaled, but I never wrote. The Storekeeper started as just this little. I woke up and on my pillow there was like I knew this guy was named Ralph and his dog was named Rusty and his wife had died and he'd bought the store and he was opening the blind in the window and he saw something on the steps and he got the broom, thought it was, something that had blown in the night, early morning, little town. And it's a little girl who's only maybe 4 years old and she's skinny and scrawny and raggedy and she's just sitting on the steps looking at the town and she doesn't say anything for the first 8 chapters. And I thought, well, there's a little story here about this guy and the little girl. I don't know what it is. So and I kept calling. It was a little story, and then after about 10 chapters, I was like, maybe I'm writing a.
Oh no.
So it was quite a process. And I wouldn't share it with anybody who wasn't 100% safe. I had one brother who was very supportive, and one brother was very critical. And one of his stepdaughters told me after he died that his love language was criticism. I had never
Oh,
known that. I thought he was just he was trying to make me better, just like the coaches, on his athletic teams, beat the shit out of him to make him better. My language, anyway. So that was very helpful, but I wouldn't let him. I told him, I'm not going to share it with you because I have to protect my baby writer is just too scared. So
yeah.
now I could share it with him, but he wouldn't have read. I mean, he had the opportunity to read. I'm sure he didn't when it was published, but it's not the kind of book he would like. He was more intellectual. I have to say, there's a lot of books I read that I don't like them.
Yeah. That's the beauty of books, though, right?
That's right. I'm to the point where I'll stop reading if I really don't like it, but.
And so
I'm surprised at what I don't know. It seems like you have to have a tremendous amount of struggle and angst nowadays to be considered worth reading.
Yeah.
I mean, I like a little struggle and a little angst, but yeah.
what's that whole
It doesn't always have to be.
yeah, it's that idea that as an artist you need to be miserable. And
Yeah.
I feel like more and more there are artists coming out and saying like, it's okay to be happy and then
Yeah.
go to this place where you feel these things, but you come back. You don't have to stay there.
Right.
Right.
Now, all
Yeah.
of these books of yours, are they the subsequent ones? Were they similarly birthed, where it was just like one day this
Yeah.
concept appears?
Like a little nugget. Yeah. I start with a little nugget and it grows from there. I don't have an outline. I have a little bit, and then I open up a page and start writing, and characters come in that I wouldn't have expected, and things happen that I wouldn't have planned. So some writers have, like Anne Paget, I think she has very clear outline and writes and rewrites until it's all perfect. And I couldn't actually edit The Storekeeper. The first version was 700 pages because I couldn't cut it. Well, granted, the print was big and I was learning about formatting. So
Your whole writing process, correct me if I'm wrong, is sort of just this very nurturing, taking this idea and kind of taking care of it and helping it grow into something bigger.
that's an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah. Just kind of see what's in there, and not try to impose. If I try to impose something from my mind, it doesn't flow the same way. It's just not, it feels stilted when I try to put it. It's better if I just let the characters speak for themselves. It's almost like watching a video for me. Then I'm transcribing as I'm watching.
So does it take you long to write these books? Is it a long story that you're then sort of like cutting out the transgressions, or does it sort of present itself in a 3-act structure?
It's I reread the previous chapter as a way of starting the next chapter, and I may do little edits, but I don't do very much editing. I do a little as I go along, but it's usually pretty tight, what I've written. So, and I've discovered for me, it's better to just, I think I was talking about this, like I couldn't, I was so scared I couldn't have any criticism. Well, I also couldn't cut things myself when I first started. And I can certainly do more editing now than I used to be able to. But it seems like things just come. It almost feels like they're stories that want to be told. I do research, into the time, and so we'll see. It's fun. It's been interesting. But you asked if I hadn't written books. I was in a couple of writing groups, and I still actually am in them. And but I don't like a writing group that's going to criticize me.
Yeah.
You can listen to what I say. The other thing is when I'm writing, and this may be one reason that I don't revise too much, is I will read what I'm writing out loud to the
Mhm.
members of the group. And in the course of reading out loud, you find the places where it's not tight, where it doesn't flow. If your
Mhm.
tongue stumbles when you're reading, your reader is going to stumble when they're reading.
Yeah,
Hmm.
So that's been very helpful.
makes total sense.
I'm assuming you've done readings of your books after they've come out. Do you find yourself still
Oh
making
yeah.
edits?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Of
But not big edits.
course.
Yeah, little edits.
Well, I
And
just
I've
love.
done some readings. I did a book tour 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, around the United States. And I went to little towns and little libraries all over and did readings, you know, from encampment, Wyoming to the eastern shore of Maryland.
That's
Yeah, it was
I
good.
I love one of the. I've seen copies for sale. Lewis Carroll, when he would do readings of Alice in Wonderland, when
Oh,
he would sign books, he would go through and make the corrections of things that had changed his mind on,
oh my gosh.
and they're all in his purple ink. And so he
Of
would just go
course.
through and change
Oh,
words, and like obviously those are the copies are worth more because after the
yeah.
fact, after it's gone to the printer, he's like, no, this can be better here. I can tighten this
Oh
up.
my gosh, that is amazing. That I've never heard of a writer doing that, but what a fabulous thing to do.
Because I personally, I couldn't imagine reading something without being like, this is a little clunky. We can clean this up a little bit better.
Yeah, oh, there's definitely that critic is very active and has a beneficial place,
Hmm.
and we don't have to take it 100% to heart, that there's got to be a balance between good enough and perfection.
Hmm.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll go crazy and you won't be able to function. You
Right.
will you'll shut down your creative self. So if if you have so many rules and obligations and no's inside you, it creates a lot of stress on the body and the mind and keeps you from, I think, experiencing the joy that you could have if you appreciated yourself a little more, and maybe you'd appreciate other people a little more. I don't know.
You make writing
Yeah.
sound fun.
I know. Imagine that.
For more information on the Outback Naked Calendar, you can find them on Facebook. Just search Outback Naked Calendar, no nudity, on Facebook. Or you can order your copy directly from Zeffy.com. Just search Outback Naked Calendar. And all of Pearl Whitfield's books are available right now wherever you get your books.
Nigel, is that you? Are you here, Nigel?